Everybody, this is Jim at SB500chart.com. It's Sunday afternoon, a little bit after 4 o'clock on September 27th. We're going to take a look at the chart for the week ending September 25th. And before we do that, I need to remind you, as always, the website and the video are for educational purposes only. Nothing stated at the site or in this video is intended to be used as investment advice. I can draw lines on charts, but you have to draw your own conclusions from your own research and make investment decisions that are suitable for your personal financial situation. And I am not a licensed financial professional. I'm just a guy who draws lines on charts. So let's take a look. All right, before we get started, I just want to say something. If you are not a subscriber and you're looking at this on the weekly update page, weekly review page, hey, I've got a little button there where you can donate some PayPal to me if you want. Please think about it. I've been doing this for, just about 10 years now, not quite, and have been doing those free videos for almost all, but not all of that time. So if you've gotten something out of them and you want to give back, now's your chance to do it. So we were looking at a rising wedge between these two orange lines, then a breakdown that you see right here, and then a descending wedge. Remember, I made mention of the fact that this orange wedge wants to take us down to about just a little bit north of 3,000. But we got a couple things that might get in the way of that. We had a couple of areas where we could maybe expect some gap support, but neither of those really worked. So to tell you the truth, I can get rid of those two lines. And then we have the extended neckline from the really big inverted head and shoulders pattern that was going to take us to 3840 before the coronavirus scare hit. So now let's just look at this wedge, the blue descending wedge. And by golly, even though on Monday of this week we got underneath this line of support, remember, you get underneath a descending line of support, that becomes porous. In other words, you can get back over it, and we did. Matter of fact, on the close on the 23rd, we were under it again. But then on Thursday, we regained position, showed this line to have maybe turned back into support, and wouldn't you know it, we end the week right at this line of resistance. That really makes for a really simple call. And I'm not going to take up a whole bunch of your time doing it. That simple call is this: get over this line, we head back up to challenge some all-time highs. Bear in mind, that does not mean that this large rising wedge still doesn't end up taking us down to 3,100. It still might. But we've not really had a good solid back test of this wedge. We just kind of fell out of it and started heading down. This pattern here might be the setup for a rally just to test this broken trend line here, or test the apex level of that wedge, which would mean we could end up coming back right to that all-time high or even exceeding it a bit. Just one more thing I want to show you here. This is going to be a pretty short video, and that is, it's interesting how often you end up with lines that when you have them at a high point, you can move them around and see how they create a trend line where things still line up. So here, if we rotate it there, well, we have a touch here and a touch there. If we rotate it here, we have a touch here and a touch there. And you could probably even, if we looked at it on a 3-minute chart, we could probably even play with that a little bit more. But just sort of by default, I tend to keep these things set up in parallel like this, because that's usually how things work out. So I'm just going to say one more thing, then I'll let you have at it. And that is, this is the line to watch. If we break up over this line tomorrow, then that should be setting things up for a return to 34.25, where we've already shown that is some resistance, where we could potentially make an inverted head and shoulders pattern. That's super speculative at this point, because if it is an inverted head and shoulders pattern, it's not even 2/3 done yet, let alone it has not broken out. But still, it is a possibility. So let's keep an eye on this line coming into the week, starting tomorrow, the 28th, and let's just see how things flesh out in the days and weeks ahead. Thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this. And as always, thanks for your very kind support. Take care.